ranking of playmats, Rashad Port's probably tier 0.
Playmats? Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably it's like Rashad Port, like huge gap, everything else.
Yep. All right. Post. So to put it very simply and quickly, you think Cloud Post is too slow here?
I would have guessed that Cloud Post is too slow, but I'm surprised that Roland did not keep a turn 1 play hand.
Okay.
It makes me think that we're about to see like Gut Shot plus Stormwing Entity.
Could
Because
be.
I can't imagine he doesn't keep a hand without I can't imagine he keeps a hand without a threat, because who really cares about counter magic? It's like you can catch a Green Sun Zenith early, sure, and you can catch crop rotation, which is important, but I think your priority is just if both decks are doing exactly what they want to be doing, I imagine it's a goldfish on both sides, and if there's no threat from Roland's side in these first 2 turns, then I think Alan is heavily advantaged.
Yeah. So for anybody that tuned in here just for round 4, rounds 1 through 3 were Roland fighting through decks that he shouldn't have beat, right? Reanimator, Depths, and what was the other one? The Show and Tell deck that you were playing. Those seemed way faster than his deck. And
what was round 1? Remind me what round 1 was.
Round 1 was against Depths, Fill in the Wind.
Depths, right. So it's interesting because him being a Wasteland deck means that he was way softer to Merit Lage, right? But he had those like nicely timed. He had that big Brazen Bar in that early game. But him being on a Delver deck that doesn't have Wasteland was actually favored against Show and Tell, where there aren't any Wasteland targets, right?
Yeah.
Like in my mind, playing like that Dream Halls version means that I get to actively just go island, Soul Land, cast my Dream Halls, right? So I never expose a land to Wasteland. So the fact that he doesn't have access to Wasteland meant that his deck was actually more set up against that deck. But obviously, wanting Wasteland against 12 posts would be very good. So
yeah, Ryan Fisher, thanks for the sub. Congrats on your 2-month sub.
New Box Topper Expedition map. Let's go.
Yeah, I love it. Alan's always got the swag cards.
Dude, he loves that swag.
Yeah, he loves the swag.
Yeah, they did the box toppers for Tron, but not for Post. Wow.
Yep.
Favoritism.
Favoritism for sure. Yeah, we're quite a ways from a bingo tonight, everybody. Quite a ways from a bingo. The default for Monday will be Legacy with Zendikar Rising, folks.
Yeah.
Getting Commander Legends.
Getting more like the rest of the spoilers. The rest of the spoilers, the entire set will be spoiled by next Monday.
You think so? I'm not sure.
I mean, they're already halfway through the set.
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know. I don't know what the schedule is. I have no idea.
I would assume that the last of the cards are just getting dumped tomorrow and Friday.
I'm curious what reprints will be in the set, like cards that we already know exist. I know they reprinted a couple of commons already, but
yeah,
I mean of cards that we care about. Yeah, Into the Royal, and there's another one. Might of Marassa, I think, is the other one. Something.
Might of Marassa? Oh, is that like just like a fight card or something?
It's a pump spell of some kind with kicker.
Yeah.
I think they play it in Infect and stuff.
They made a functional reprint of Step Links in red.
Did they? I didn't see that.
It's straight up. It's exactly Step Links except it's red.
Interesting.
And so like instead of it being a cat, it's like an elemental dog.
Right.
But other than that, it is functionally the same thing as a Step Links. So for any I don't think that a deck like that will have legs in Legacy, but for the modern aggro players, you now have 8 Step Links aggro.
Oh yeah, Lotus Cobra is a reprint. I forgot about Lotus Cobra. Good catch, Ryan.
Lotus Cobra being a reprint is cool because it means that it, like those types of old reprints coming back that are awesome means that they also now are being added into Pioneer, which is a big deal.
Yes.
And so I think Lotus Cobra and Pioneer will be sweet.
Absolutely. Lotus Cobra is a cool card. It's like, it's a bit outdated now on power level for Modern and Legacy. But I think at one time it was played in Modern, right?
It was played in Modern Jund. Like
it was.
Back when like The Hellkite that destroyed all of your opponent's lingering souls.
Oh, yeah, I know cards. Is that Thunder Maw? Thunder Maw
Thundermaw
Hellkite?
Hellkite, yeah. Thundermaw
Yeah.
Hellkite was like a $50 mythic, and there was Lotus Cobras played in that Jund deck to just pump out Thundermaw Hellkite because it was at a time when Deathrite Shaman was legal in Modern, and so there were like 4-color Jund decks, and the way that Jund decks would beat up on each other was they would play a Johnny Vengeance and Lingering Souls, and the way that you beat those cards was you just played a Thundermaw Hellkite, got rid of all your Lingering Souls, attacked down your Johnny Vengeance.
Yeah. Around the time original Zendikar came out, too, back to what we were talking about earlier about how Zendikar block, the first block, impacted Legacy so much. It was also the core sets at the time, too. They introduced Preordain and a bunch of other cards like that. Like, that time period changed Legacy a lot.
Dude, a bunch of like commons and uncommons had a big impact too. Like Nature's
Mage.
Claim, Nature's Claim was a World Wake
Yep.
card. I mean, obviously you had Jace the Mind Sculptor and Stoneforge Mystic and all that.
Yeah, yeah. But when you like read the list of cards that exist in those blocks, it's like, damn, these these sets really had a lot of Legacy cards. A lot. What did you search for there? Did you see?
That's where Valakut came from.
Was that Club Host? Oh, Valakut. Yeah, Valakut.
Valakut came out of that. Yep.
All the Eldrazi, Emrakul and Ulamog and Kozilek, the original versions.
Out of Rise of the Eldrazi. Yep. That was before. That was when Eldrazi were cool and not just stupid.
Don't tell Kaplan. I like Eldrazi, actually.
I don't think Kaplan is unaware that Thought-Knot Seer and Reality Smasher are just like design plight, like terrible. I have no words.
Cavern of Souls is a fire reprint. That's true. It's not in standard, but yeah, it is cool. All the expeditions obviously are awesome. There were some other lands that they introduced in original Zendikar block, like Sajiri Steppe, Bajuka Bog. All those cards were in there.
All those cards, yep. All those spell lands, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you also they didn't really make their way. They had a short period of time in Legacy in land still, but all of the man lands. Creeping Tar Pit saw play in Bug land still.
Yep.
People played Teferi's Response to protect their Creeping Tar Pits from their wasteland.
Yep. Is there another not wasteland? Is there another Planeswalker from those sets that was played? I don't think so.
Jace the Mind Sculptor and well, back then you had like Gideon Jura, which was huge.
Yeah.
He came out of Rise of the Eldrazi. That was his debut too. That was Gideon's debut.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. Crazy. I was just looking through the sets and just thinking like, damn, so much of Legacy is Zendikar based. Expedition Map was in there too.
Creature lands, yeah, they were all good. I don't know. Are creature lands still seeing play in Modern? Are they too slow?
Yeah, like Raging Ravine and Celestial Colonnade for sure.
They are. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe Creeping Tar Pit here and there. That might be the only one though.
There's a window now with a bunch of mana for Alan to resolve something big, and it will resolve because there's no Force of Will on the other side because Roland's down to one card left.
Yeah.
So it's got to be big, and then he's got to dodge burn for the rest of the game. But he's counting, so he's not out of the woods yet. It seems like.
All right, plays the forest. I gotta look at his list one more time.
That gives him 8 mana. So that's Ulamog. Oh, he's gonna Crop Rot. Okay.
Crop Rot. Okay. Are we gonna see an Ugin or an Ulamog here? That would be crazy.
Oh no, so he's gaining life. So that's smart. So he still gives himself access to 10 mana and goes to 5. So if he's got an Ulamog, he can Ulamog down the threat and a land. And then it's probably good enough. It looks like that's what's going to happen.
Ouch. Oh, my goodness.
That's pretty good.
That is rough. That's probably game, right?
I imagine that is game, but
Well,
I think if he has, I mean, he could just draw running burn spells, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. It's not game, but if he doesn't have burn spells, it's definitely game.
also any threat plus burn spells also still good enough, assuming that there isn't just a follow up. I mean, there's probably a big fatty follow up, right? But
Probably.
let's assume Alan has nothing. Um, this third land for Roland is probably not very good, but maybe it's like a Bedlam Reveler. Bedlam Reveler would be pretty good.
It would, especially if you
I
can
mean,
chump Ulamog once.
no, I think you just take that hit because you want to swing back. You can take 10 and go to 6, whatever.
Oh yeah, why did I think one hit would be a kill? Never mind.
I mean, a third of his deck gets exiled, but
Yeah, never mind. Take that back.
yep,
I was reading
there
the
it
life
is.
totals backwards. Bedlam Reveler. Yep,
Bang.
I like that.
That's if that was the last. Whether that was like his top deck or his last draw is very good. So now he's going double threat, and that's very good because if that means that the Terramander is threatening to be a 5/5, which will fly over. So now he needs either a second Ulamog or Ugin would get the job done.
Yep.
Ugin can kill the Terramander. It can't kill the Bedlam Reveler, but he can just hold back on the Ulamog, and then Ugin will be good enough.
What do you think of the Allosaurus Shepherd and Elvish Rejuvenators in Alan's list? Are those a little too cute?
I think just playing them as flex slots to make your Green Sun Zenith package a little bit more flexible is totally fine. I mean, there's just going to be worlds where if you can get your Green Sun Zenith, especially, I mean, open decklist makes it a little bit worse, but let's say you're playing against any deck that's trying to interact on the stack. If you just play a Green Sun Zenith, they think you're going to go get an Elvish Reclaimer, and so they're like, sure, and then you get your Shepherd and cut off all of their counter magic. You might just close the game that way, you know?
Yep.
There's also a world where you make a ton of mana, so you can just make it a 5/5 beater. I mean, granted that's not very good, but you know,
Yep.
it's like there is some creatures in your deck, and it does mean that you can play a lower man plan, if you will.
I'm trying to see now if Roland has enough spells in the yard. All right, so he's got some mana Marvel, so he must not. I think I'm counting 5.
5 what spells? Oh, he's definitely got it because he cast the Bedlam Reveler.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm miscounting.
like the Bedlam Reveler he paid 2 mana for, so he's got to have enough for the Terramander.
True.
I feel like this game is way closer than I anticipated when looking at this matchup.
Um.
I had thought that this was just going to be
Yeah.
a runaway race, and now there's a bunch of like interesting space here in the red zone. I imagine another crop rot for a glacial chasm is the ticket out of this.
He does have Glacial Chasm. He has no way, at least in play right now, to copy it. Another Glimmer Post could be good too, right? Would that
Well,
get
he's
him
got
there?
he's got Vesuva, right? So he can copy glacial chasm if he needs to.
Does he have Vesuvas? Oh yeah, he does have Vesuvas. Okay, yeah, I missed that. Good catch.
I mean, I doubt that that's what he would like to do, but if it's his only plan of action, he can do it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Gothmog, is Ulamog your favorite creature? Favorite legend? All right, Chain Lightning looks like.
That's a good one. That's a
Yep.
start. That means that both threats are lethal.
Yep.
Uh, Plays a land. I guess there's no reason not to swing in. Like if your opponent has crop rot for glacial chasm, there's no way of stopping it if you didn't have the counter magic. So I don't see a reason. I guess you could just fly in with the Terramander because Ulamog doesn't have reach despite how huge he is.
Does not. Well, okay. What's the hesitation here for attacking? Okay.
We've got to pump first. There
Adapt.
you go. Yeah,
Swing.
that'll do it.
Okay. Cool. Those boxes are all the cards that I'll never play with. These are all like my extra cards. Then in one more box, I have all the cards that are like playable in any format that I play, sorted by color. And then I have binders where all the expensive cards are.
Nice. Yeah.
So
So
like
you're way more. You have way more of a Dewey Decimal System than I do.
yeah. So if you tell me, okay, like come up with a card. Like let's say what's a card that's like used in Legacy but not that much? Pyrokinesis
Sure.
just popped in my head.
Yeah.
Pyrokinesis is in my box. It's not in the Ice Age box.
Yeah.
The Legacy box rather with the Ice Age cards. But if you name a card like what's a card that like literally never sees playing Grizzly Bears, right? Never sees playing Legacy. That's in another box
Sure.
entirely. That's been my system, and I'm always curious what other people do because there's no like correct way to do it.
I see Ninja was saying that he's a lazy person because his cards are just in a box, unsorted, I assume, based on how you wrote it. And I would actually argue that you are not the lazy person. I would argue that us who have sorted everything are the lazier because we don't want to take the time to sift through our whole collection every time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of effort to to look through your collection every time if you're building a deck. So
Yeah.
you are in an odd way inherently not lazy for that.
Yeah. I guess the way I do it though does make it hard, and I've been frustrated sometimes. Like let's say you told me, okay, Chris, build me for tomorrow Legacy Burn.
Yeah. Why would anybody do
Like,
that? Why would you do
don't-
that?
I don't know where all the burn cards. Like they're in all different
whoa,
binders. They're all legal in different sets.
Back up. If somebody asks you to build Legacy Burn, you don't think to yourself, where are the cards to build that? You say no.
That's not true. No, but if I needed to locate those cards, it would take me. I would still have to open a whole bunch of different boxes and like pull the cards out, sort through them, and my least favorite thing about Magic, sleeving up decks. I hate it.
Really?
I hate it. I can't stand it.
I will. I mean, I learned a long time ago that when you're interchanging cards, it's just better to have one color sleeve for your entire collection.
That's my mistake.
Right?
That's my mistake.
Commit to a color. Yeah. Me being an alters guy, I was using different colors for a little bit, but I have decided to just stick to matte black. It will show the alters nicely because it's a neutral background on them.
Yeah.
And then just the whole collection, man. The whole collection, one color. And then you never have to worry about switching your brainstorms from one deck to another. You can just do it. You don't have to resleeve, and it's great.
That's my mistake.
But I find that sleeving though can be like, I'll put a Turtle Durdles on in my headphones and I'll sleeve up a little bit. It's therapeutic.
All right, that's fair. Yeah, every once in a while, like, okay, my Dragon Shield purples or whatever are beat up now on my deck, so I got to switch to a blue, whatever next color I bought, because I buy a different one every time like an idiot. The worst. I'll put it off for weeks. I don't want to do it.
The weirdest story I've ever heard about somebody and sleeving cards. Next, if and when we have Anurag back on, we'll have to ask him if it's true. Big if true. But Anurag apparently is superstitious, and if he's at a tournament, if he loses a round, he'll re-sleeve his whole deck. So he re-sleeves his deck after every loss.
Okay.
So we're gonna have to ask him if that's true next time, because that is the most over-the-top relationship I've heard with sleeves. That it's just superstitious, but I think it's fun. I think it's funny. I think it's great.
That is weird. I'm not very superstitious, so I don't really do that. But maybe mentally, it like helps you refresh. I can understand that. Just kind of like take your mind off the loss or whatever, and just like focus on sleeving for a while, and just kind of chill out for a while.
Very pricey. Oh yeah, I see like in the chat they're talking very very pricey to keep buying sleeves like that. Another trick I learned a long time ago. it's like you get your Dragon Shields, and you're like, okay, well, Dragon Shields at like a shop are usually like $10 to $12, depending on where you are. And if you go to a Grand Prix or something, maybe you can find vendors that have them for like $10, maybe 8. Maybe 8 is like the steal, right? You're like, oh, I got to load up on these. Just go online, buy a whole box of Dragon Shield, and you get like 12 boxes for, I don't know, $7 a piece or whatever. Buy in bulk is what I'm saying. Buy in bulk. You'll save yourself money in the long run, unless you are specifically buying to support your local game store. Support your local game stores.
Yes, for sure.
So Double Carpet of Flowers has been doing enough work that we've got a Reclaimer on the board, which is going to fetch up lands that tap for 7.
Yeah. Roland's got to put the clock on.
If you do just have...
I like that.
If you have 3 copies of the same deck, you could just sleeve up all of them and then just swap them, right?
Yeah.
Rather than re-sleeve, just switch the deck.
Yeah. Yeah, another thing, like, I wish I didn't feel like I had to double sleeve my decks. Like, when I play Standard or Pioneer or something, my favorite part about it is that I just don't have to double sleeve my deck.
Oh, you don't sleeve, you don't double sleeve? I double sleeve everything, man.
No, if I play Standard or like my Pioneer decks, I didn't double sleeve.
It just depends, like, if you have pricey cards in either of those decks that have some crossover, like...
oh, yeah. Yeah. If I did, then I did, yeah.
I remember there was an example. I was playing Phoenix in Pioneer.
Yeah.
But I was playing a version that had like 3 or 4 Brazen Borrowers in the main. And I have the Showcase Brazen Borrowers. And I'm like, I'm double sleeving these guys. And then you have to double sleeve the whole deck.
When's the last time you played Pioneer though? Was when I played you at the shop?
Dude, I haven't played Pioneer since the pandemic.
Yeah.
Started. You and I feel like we're playing Pioneer like twice a week at the shop.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
You know,
we were the only of the NYC Eternal, at least at our shop, that were playing Pioneer. So we were like the old timers at the Pioneer events at the shop. You know.
Yeah, dude, I love Pioneer.
In a way,
I love Pioneer. It's so much. It's such a fun, different experience from Legacy, in that it doesn't feel. It's an entirely different experience without fetch lands.
Yes, I was talking about this. With somebody recently. Yeah.
But the power level is high enough that it's still an interesting format. Where my issue with Standard is it kind of feels like everybody is like tap out haymakers all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played Standard in a long time, so that might be different. But now, but anyway, big swings over here. The Blood Moon came down, but then it was dealt with fairly easily by Rexage.
Leon talking about triple sleeving. What is the deal with triple sleeving? Like, are people triple sleeving because they want to maintain super mint cards, or is it just like I'm paranoid that someone's gonna spill a soda on my deck? Like
probably a combination, right? Like if you have duels or reserve list cards that go up in by percentage, like vastly higher than what the best possible stocks exist on Wall Street, you're going to want to protect those.
Yeah, for sure. No, I was just wondering, like, if people like triple sleeve decks, because I've seen people triple sleeve decks that are not like
triple sleeve burn.
For example, yeah, exactly. But for example, like I've seen triple sleeve vintage decks, and I'm like, I get it. I understand why you would do that. Yeah. But I've also seen triple sleeve like typical Miracles list with like revised duels, and it's like, what? I don't know if that was necessary. It seems kind of overkill. But I understand your concern though. Like it's still you're protecting a lot of valuable cards, but
so there's a difference too. There's a subtle difference here too. I have never triple sleeved, but I do use hard perfects.
Okay, I don't use those. How do you like them?
I personally like hard perfects, but I know some people that don't like the feeling of hard perfects. Mm-hmm. But I do know people who triple sleeve that don't like hard perfects.
Yeah.
So, but I have enjoyed hard perfects, and my whole collection is hard perfected fitted.
Worth pointing out, there's a sulfuric vortex on the table now. So
yep,
Roland doing some damage.
It might also be worth pointing out too that Alan has not been hitting his land drops.
No.
and he's been living on the back of these carpet of flowers.
Yeah. Not where
So
you want to be.
yeah, when you're not hitting your land drops, Reclaimer doesn't quite look as good because he doesn't put you up a land.
Yep.
If I wanted a deck, what tribe do I want to be playable? I think zombies is pretty close to playable now. The tribe that doesn't actually exist at all in Legacy that I would like to see come back around is vampires. I
Yeah.
would love to be able to use my Colostria Highborns wherever they are buried and have them be playable. A long time ago, I loved playing Viscera Seer, Bloodghast, Colostria Highborn, vampires.
Yeah. You've given some previews of those cards on a couple of streams, right? With Vito.
Yeah, yeah. I adore that tribe because it felt like that tribe. It, that tribe to me felt different from all of the other tribes in that it wasn't just a tribe that was looking to beat down in different ways. Like I feel like a lot of tribes, for the most part, just are beatdown decks and then just do it with like their own kind of accent on it. You know, like
Yeah.
in like elves outside of Legacy, which is a combo deck, but elves in the other ones is like a snowball deck
Yeah.
where you're just like going wide, pump my team, attack, kill you. Merfolk, all lords, pump my team, attack, kill you. Uh, Goblins, go wide with tokens, play my lords, pump them, attack, kill you. So they're all kind of just different flavors of the same thing. And I remember feeling that Vampires was this sort of aggro deck that had a lot of finesse to it, and I really liked it. So I'd love to see Vampires come back.
Yeah. We'll have to do another Tribal War stream once we get Zendikar out, I think.
Mhm. Also, if there are any powerful rogue, warrior, wizard, or cleric cards from days of old that you think are good but don't have like the support or like the combo card they need or whatever, get them now because now that WotC has said that or are doing like these crossovers with D&D, you're going to see a lot more of those 4 specific tribes get a ton of support.
True name Nemesis.
Yeah.
True name Nemesis for life.
I mean, Zendikar Rising having those 4 tribes is because those are the D&D tribes, right?
Yeah, true.
So it's like that. They also said a new D&D set coming out. So there's going to be a lot of those 4 tribes getting a bunch of support and just getting tacked on to other creatures. Like other creatures would just be whatever plus rogue, whatever.
Have you played D&D? I feel like you have.
I have not. I know a bunch
okay.
of. I have a lot of friends that do play it and they love it. Like the same way that like we love Magic, they adore D&D.
Yeah.
So I've just like never gotten into role play because any free time for a hobby I've always just put into Magic.
Sure.
You've
What's
never
up,
played
Mr.
D&D?
Lee? Mr. Lee is here. What's up, Mr. Lee? Sorry, what were you gonna say?
You've never played D&D?
No, I never have. Never once.
Yeah.
I've
mean,
been invited a few times, but
we're gonna play it. We're gonna play it by next year, right? Like they're definitely gonna add. They're gonna add some kind of role play element into their card mechanics.
Yeah, yeah.
You'd be like, this card costs 1 less if you do role play.
Yeah, for sure. Leon's done D&D. Oh yeah. I feel like we talked about this before, but maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Is Thalia a warrior? Thalia's a soldier.
She's a soldier.
Yeah.
Soldier. Human soldier.
Are we going to see, we talked about this earlier, folks, but now a whole bunch of new people here. Are we going to see companions in Strixhaven? Make your predictions now.
Let us pray. Let us pray that we see more companions.
I think we will. It would make sense, right? The kids have like the pets that help them get the mail or whatever.
I mean, I was saying there's no way that they did companions in one set and that's it, right? Like they definitely plan to do companions later, but the backlash might be that they might remove it. So who knows if they have the time for that? But
I don't know. Who knows? I'm all for trying stuff. What could they do in the Viking set that they've never done before? I'm wondering because we can predict. We might not be right, but we can. Ooh, Ugin. Dang.
I hear the format is soft to a resolved Ugin.
Yeah, really. I was gonna say we can predict they might do snow. We can predict there might be gods. We can predict there might be all these characters like Beowulf and all that.
Mhm.
But what can they do mechanically that we haven't seen before? I don't know.
If it's a bunch of Norse mythology, right? I mean, it's the Viking set they said, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So there's probably going to be Norse god like equivalents, right?
yeah.
So that makes sense that they would bring some type of god back and maybe do a new take on like the inevitability of the gods that they did. You know, like Amonkhet had them go back a couple of cards from below the top or whatever, as opposed to the old previous Amonkhet ones where they just went back to your hand if they died. So they might reinvent gods in some way, which could be fun. I think if it's the Viking set though, that there's probably going to be a more cards that, like when I hear Vikings, I'm thinking that it could be we're going to see more ships, like vehicles that are ships.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, maybe we'll have like sea warfare of some kind.
Yeah, something like that. I could also see them doing things that, like the mechanics for control players or control decks or whatever, are things that like I mean, it might just be colloquially that when you do something, if you tap something down and it doesn't untap during your untap step, it's called like colloquially. I just call that like it's frozen. You freeze it for a turn.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like if you are treading through like mountain ranges and snow and whatever, that you might get like they might bring back Exert.
Pillage, someone predicted, possibly.
Pillage. Yeah, that's true.
Land destruction
Vikings,
coming
yeah.
back. By the way,
I
I
mean,
saw Leon called out the Ugin on the bingo card. I hit it. Thanks, Leon. And thanks, Ugin.
You definitely get a bunch of legendary equipment out of the Viking set, right?
Yeah, true. Bunch of cool axes and hammers and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
for sure.
We shall see. This game's still going somehow. I guess he
Dude,
didn't bother minusing Ugin.
triple carpet of flowers, man.
Yeah, really.
Sagas they can do in now that sagas are something that they like going back to and players like them. They can always just tell the story of a world through sagas for sure.
Yeah,
That's a good call, Leon. That's definitely a place that they could go to.
yeah. Sagas are cool. We
If
have
they
yet to
would've-
have a saga playable in Legacy, right?
Right. I don't
Antiquities
think
War
there's
maybe
been...
was like half-ass.
Which one?
Antiquities War. It never really got there.
Antiquities War did show up in a top 8 at one point, but yeah, it was very fringy and had that like one 15-minute of fame.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to see more sagas like be eternal playable though. Be cool.
Yeah. I thought I mean it's blue, so Pyroblast is too much, but when Kiora Best the Sea God was spoiled, I was like, maybe this is a card that you do with the stuff like what's that card that's seeing play in deck lists now that returns all of your enchantments back? Replenish. I was like, is this a powerful enough enchantment that ETBs for Replenish? And it was not. Turns out you just needed to cycle control magics.
I'm looking at Kiora Best of Sea God now. Oh yeah, make a token, tap out.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, if you have if you're playing your Replenish sort of your style deck, and you know it ETBs to put an 8/8 hexproof on the table, that's pretty good. And then you're gonna steal their best thing, like maybe, but
yeah, Shark Typhoon is hot in Legacy at the moment.
Shark Typhoon is hot everywhere.
Ulamog in hand now.
I was so wrong about that card. I predicted that card wouldn't do anything, and it's done everything everywhere. So Ulamog, I imagine, will be enough. I mean, I feel like it's just racing this Sulfuric Vortex, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it's gonna exile those cards now. I bet.
Yeah,
I'm surprised Ugin didn't get minused.
Yeah, Ugin could have dealt with all of that. He's
would
kind of
exile
stuck,
his own permanents, though. Yeah.
He's kind of been living off the back of these Carpet of Flowers.
Yeah.
And
wow,
to
Ulamog targeted the lands?
I think he just can go for the kill.
Okay.
Right? He can just attack for with the team here.
Oh, okay.
And then plus on Ugin and kill him?
Guess so.
Oh, he doesn't.
Oh, he
It's
doesn't have
not.
enough lands in the yard. Oh,
It's not attacking for 5. Oh wow. Okay.
yep, just 3.
Yeah, you play to do things. That sounds cool. A bullet here would still get him dead. How are we in this position?
That's true. Yeah, Roland is at 3.
It's gotta be burn spell or bust, right?
Uh-oh, he must have
Oh,
drew
he's got
Bedlam Reveler.
Bedlam Reveler on 1 red source.
But
Awkward.
no red source, yeah. Termander, maybe?
Terramander's
think
not
that
good
does
enough.
it.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, going to game 3 of the finals. I like it.
I think
So-
that's the best out because like had the changeling rule worked the way we initially thought it was. I know we talked about that earlier on, but because the party mechanic specifically says that each creature can only count as one of the 4 in your party, so you can't go like turn 1 changeling, turn 2 busted thing. That would have been broken, obviously, but it would have been legacy playable for sure, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's just like the same way that people play Goblin Lackey. If I play a Moth Dust Changeling, it's like kill the Moth Dust Changeling or die, because you can go. You could have had people going turn 1 Moth Dust Changeling, Lotus Petal, cast Coveted Prize, show and tell kill you, right? Like it would
Right.
have been wild. But otherwise, I think that it's going to be on the back of a double face card that's already playable. I imagine it'll be something akin to like Search for Escanta, right? It's going to be something that's like fringy good, and then it being a land kind of like puts it over the top as like something that's powerful enough for a flex slot.
Yeah. So Ixalan was the first time we did things that turned into lands, right?
That transformed into lands, yeah.
Okay. These don't transform, obviously, but I was just thinking of double face cards that were lands. There haven't been any. Oh, there was also no. There was cards in Innistrad that had lands, like Westvale Abbey and Handward
Yeah.
Battlements were lands, and then the other side was not a land. Okay, never mind.
Westfell Abbey is one of those cards that it would be a fun build around, and it's just like you just can't do it in Legacy because of Wasteland.
Yeah, they need to ban Wasteland. I'm just kidding. Carpet of
Another
Flowers.
carpet. I think it would be interesting if, like, let's say there's a double-faced card that's also a land, but it's like, okay, you have spell up front, but then the other side is like, I don't know, a Vesuva effect or copy effect.
Right.
You could see that also coming into play.
Yeah. Would it be possible for them to put, like, let's say, Tabernacle at Pendrevale? Obviously not a card with the same name, but the same exact card, but, like, on the other side, a spell, and that would not be reserve list? Does that work?
You can't do anything that is a functional reprint of a reserve list card.
Oh, okay.
So they would have to like change the mana on it. So you could do it, but you'd have to functionally make it different from a reserve list card.
Okay.
There's also a card just got spoiled that is probably playable.
Uh-oh.
I will read it to chat. We're getting it on air for the first time ever.
Uh-oh.
If you can look it up and just pull it up, it's just been posted. It's called Cleansing Wildfire. It's a sorcery for 1 and a red, and it says destroy target land, draw a card.
For one,
No, I'm kidding. There's additional text. It's destroy
Okay.
target. It's destroy target land, and then its controller can path to exile. They can search a basic land, put it into play, tapped, and then you draw a card. So it's Stone Rain. They can fetch up a basic tapped, and then you draw a card.
so it's Ghost Quarter.
It's Ghost Quarter, but Ghost Quarter it comes into play untapped. So this time it comes into play tapped.
Interesting.
So it's 2 mana Wasteland, or it's destroy target land. So it's 2 mana Strip Mine that gives them a basic.
Interesting.
Are we could see like control decks that just play that card and win by just stripping your opponent's all of your opponent's lands
Blood Moon.
by recurring cleansing. What is this? Cleansing Wildfire.
Yep. What do you think of the situation here? Blood Moon's on the board, 2 creatures for Roland, who mulled to 5 to start this game.
And it's a good multi 5. I mean, this Carpet of Flowers is going to do a little bit of work because it's not actually going to be cutting off access to colored mana. So he's going to have, if he has ways to get rid of the Blood Moon, he'll be able to do it. He's just got to have the action. It's just turning off his big mana plays. But Carpet of Flower gives him 2 mana, and he's got 2 more mana. So he got access to 4 mana at the moment, which means that if he has a Green Sun Zenith, he can go get a Rex Sage.
So he plays a mountain.
The card we were just talking about, cleansing, what is this called? Cleansing Wildfire. The path to exile for lands is 1 in a red.
I'm trying to find it. I can't even find it. I found it now. I found it. Yeah. Yep. That looks cool.
Pretty good at common.
Yeah, it is a common. So that's a legacy playable card. You're thinking?
What's up?
That's a legacy playable card. You're thinking?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Destroy target land.
Yeah.
That cantrips. Yeah, you would play that against. I mean, think of every like what you call it. That seems like a slam dunk for literally Roland's deck right now.
You're not wrong.
You know.
All right,
like
Delver finally flipped. By the way,
he was talking about how his. I mean, looking at his list, it's soft to Merit Lage, right? But the thing is that the path to exile ability on that is also just good against a bunch of decks that don't play enough basics, right?
Right. Lulling Wizard's Dominance. Gain control of a creature with CMC X. Oh, but it's blue X. That sounds rough.
So you steal the Uro for blue, except they just exile their graveyard, so they won't have 8 more cards in their graveyard?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. It's tough. Blue is tough.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted there is, historically, there is a card, what is it called? It is called Volrath's Dominance, I think. I think it's called Volrath's Dominance, so this might be a nod to that card. Volrath's Dominance is X1 blue, and it's an instant, and it says gain control of creature with converted mana cost X.
I don't know that one, but I believe you.
So it's a very expensive way to control magic, but you can do it at instant speed, and it's permanent.
Okay.
Like, it's not steal a permanent, steal a creature, but taking the creature is done. You take it permanently.
Right. Sajiri. Sajiri Glacier is the... Oh, no. Sajiri Shelter is white 1. Target creature you control gains protection from color of your choice. And the other side is a white tap land. What do you think of that?
Hold on 1 sec. You're going to have to read that one back. I'm looking up Volrath's Dominance.
Oh,
Did I put that in incorrectly?
Oh, someone... No, you didn't. Wait, did you? I'm not sure.
I might have the wrong name of the card. Target creature you can control contains protection of the colors of your choice until end of turn.
And then the other side is a white tap land.
I don't see it. It's an instant for how much?
I'll link it to you on Facebook.
Okay.
I found it on Twitter. I just sent you the link to a tweet. Titan's here. It's good news for Alan.
Titan's a big game.
What does he search for here? Glacial Chasm?
Yeah, Glacial Chasm. I mean, he's got to get... What does he need here? He needs to not die.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you can also just get a couple of posts and gain a bunch of life, potentially. Because if you get to untap with the Titan... I mean, you're taking a bunch of damage in the air, though, so maybe not. Huh. It might just be Glacial Chasm Plus. Oh, Tabby's good.
Oh, Tabernacle is good. Yeah, I didn't even remember that he had that. Tabernacle and Glacial Chasm? Is that the plan?
Let's see. He's just going to gain some life, go up to 15.
Okay. No Glacial Chasm.
I mean, that's not bad. He's going to tap out. Oh, he's actually going to let it. Oh, I guess a 1/1 is not worth the. Yeah, I guess having the mana up's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ponder. So that means that he's going to be able to attack in for 7. But if Alan gets to untap and swing with Titan, which it looks like he will because there's not going to be a card in Roland's deck for a mana that's going to be able to get rid of Titan. So he's going to be able to tutor for 2 more lands, which means that he'll be able to gain the entire combat step back off of a couple more Glimmer Posts. I don't know. How does Roland navigate his way out of this one?
Well, it seems like he doesn't have Wasteland in his deck. Worth pointing out again.
Yeah.
No Wasteland, so he has no way of attacking the Tabernacle.
It's like it's only Blood Moon, right?
It's only Blood Moon. He can possibly, at some point, bounce Primeval Titan and slow that down, so he can't just keep looking for Glimmer Posts and Vesuvas. But
I mean,
I don't know what else.
I mean, I don't know what the targets would be off this prime time that's about to attack in, but here's a post. He just exposed the post. He didn't play it, but he showed it to us. So if he's got a post, he can tutor up 2 more. He can tutor up the other 2 Glimmer Posts after playing his own post here, which means that each of those posts would gain 5, so he could just gain 10.
Yeah, seems
and
pretty
then
good.
Roland is still going to be taxed down to a mana because of the Tabernacle.
Oh, he has Maze of Ith in his deck? I didn't even remember that.
Well, Maze of Ith is going to come into play tapped, so it's not actually going to convert anything on this turn.
Sure.
And this will be the critical spot because it's going to mean Roland either holds back, which is a losing line, or he can't burn him out.
All right, there's Glacial Chasm.
Yeah, Chasm in a post. Okay.
And that's a Glimmer Post gaining 3 life.
I think this one is locked up.
I think so. Although Alan can no longer attack, right?
Why can't he attack?
Because of Glacial Chasm?
Oh, because it doesn't deal any damage. Sure. So
no, you just can't attack.
Right, and you take no damage. Okay. So
yeah.
He's setting up here now with a 20/20 potentially.
Okay.
I mean, he can just let the Glimmer Post die, or I'm sorry, the Chasm die when he knows he can just kill.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
Well, now that he has a Dark Depths, he didn't like when I said it, but yeah, now it's pretty good. Yes, that is a stage in play. So he could make a 20/20 on end step here, possibly, and then let Glacial Chasm die and swing for the kill. Oh no, Delver's there to block, and Stormwing Entity is there to block.
He can block, yeah. So, wait. Oh, does Chasm say no combat damage?
Wait a second, hold on a second.
Or is that not a Chasm? Maybe that's not a Chasm.
That is a Chasm.
Right.
Wait a second.
Am I missing something? I think we missed something.
Hey guys, does Chain Lightning still do... Alright.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
We just undid.
Alright, he scooped Phil.
Roland scooped?
Yeah, Roland scooped.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes more sense.
Yeah, we were curious about the Chain Lightning. Roland, you had a hell of a night.
Thanks.
you blood mooned and gut shotted people and all kinds of crazy things happen.